National Farmers Day, and it's a day for everyone to acknowledge the hard work that goes into feeding and supplying a nation. Sarah Pila is live in Brentwood with a look at unconventional way of farming, vertical agriculture. That's so beautiful. I'm loving this shot, Sarah. Can you tell us a little bit more about what's going on?
Isn't it so beautiful? When I first walked up here yesterday, I was just in awe at all the greenery against the backdrop of the city. And so here we are off Wilshire Boulevard on a commercial building that has a vertical farm here. And so this is by the company LA Urban Farms that does aeroponic farming. So this means that there's no soil that's used, only water and nutrients in order to grow. And so on this farm, we have 30 gardens. There are a lot of advantages to growing your food this way. A big one is that it uses 90% less water than conventional farming. And I spoke with one LA Urban Farms farmer who says vertical farming is a sustainable way to grow, especially in times of drought, and is a way to utilize unused space.
As our population grows in our urban setting, we have more and more people moving to an urban setting, and food security becomes an issue because we all need to eat, and we're suffering from climate change and drought, and getting food to come into that population is difficult, and we're going to struggle. So we imagine that we could use rooftops everywhere and grow food in this particular way so that we can help just add to that farmer's market or that local grow for all the communities in an urban setting.
Climate change is impacting conventional farming. Changes in temperature, atmospheric carbon dioxide, and the frequency and intensity of extreme weather could have significant impacts on crop yields now and into the future. More extreme temperature and precipitation can prevent crops from growing, and floods and drought can harm crops and reduce how much is harvested. While California is in a drought, farms are dealing with water shortages and drier soil. Gina sees vertical farming's role in agriculture as a companion to conventional farming.
We feel that we can just really lock arms with our conventional farmers, and we can help provide that little bit of extra growing that's needed with all of our lettuces and our herbs and our greens. We could free up some of that water using 90% less water here to grow those particular crops. Not all of them, just, in some instances, and free up some water for your roots and fruits that are being literally bulldozed out. If you go through Central Valley, they're getting bulldozed and burned down because they don't have the water for it. If we could free up some of that water because we're growing this way, they could have more water for what they need there.
And you can find LA Urban Farms in residences, on top of buildings like here, as well as even some restaurants are using them on site, and even academic institutions like UCLA. And I just have to say, Autumn, after my shoot yesterday and I went home, I planted the seed, if you will, to my partner. I says, I have the greatest idea. I want one of these vertical farms.
Several years ago, a beautiful woman walked into my house. She came for what was supposed to be a casual meeting amongst friends to share this technology of tower gardening. I had been growing for several years. I had two little kids at the time. She brought her young son, Cole, with her. And she sat in my living room, arms crossed, hat down, and really looking kind of frustrated with everything that I was saying. I honestly didn't know if it was landing the right way. I kind of felt, oh my gosh, what if I'm saying the wrong thing? And I kept looking at her and leaning into her because I could see that she was listening. At the end of that meeting, she came up to me and explained that she had a lot of experiences with other companies, and she did not want to sign up with this one. But something was pulling in her heart, and she felt like, okay, I'll just do it to get the discount. I'll just sign up to get it the best price. So she ended up signing up with us as an affiliate. She got her discount on her tower. She placed the tower in her condo, and her family started to grow. Over the next coming weeks, as she learned more and asked more and really pressed hard on the questions, she started to fall in love with this technology. Little did I know, or she, that this simple meeting in my living room was going to change the course of her life. And I'm so grateful that it did. Gina Osbourne is one of the most incredible people that I know. She has a heart of gold. She'll give you the shirt off her back, really, to help another person. And she fell in love with something special that day and saw a vision that most people don't. She has an entrepreneurial spirit. She thought, oh my gosh, there's a need for this in so many places. So her one tower grew into 3 and then to 4. And then she and her husband made the decision that they were going to sell their condo in a beautiful suburban town and move to the country and build a tower farm. And that is where Oak Creek Farms was built. It has been such an honor and a pleasure to watch Gina grow over the last several years, to be there by her side, cheering her on as she does some extraordinary things. Today, you're going to get to learn from her, and she is one of the most valuable people that we have in this community. And I really hope that you'll listen up, because dreams do really come true. And sometimes just sharing from the heart can change the course of somebody's life.
Hi, everybody, and hi, Gina. Surprise.
Yeah.
For everybody that's listening, I just want you to listen up. Gina has been one of the most incredible students of this business. She's pioneered so much of the technology with Tower Garden that we can't even figure out, but she can. Like growing things that are supposed to go underground, she figured out how to grow beets and radishes and that kind of thing. She's done so many incredible things, but the bottom line of the whole thing is that, you know, she's the kind of person just like you who took a good idea and let it grow. And I think that's what Tower Garden does. I think it's the seed that gets planted inside of us that takes us on its journey of its own. And it's been such an authentic and amazing journey to watch her, you know, step after step. I didn't even know that that video of the news existed. That's how modest and humble she is. But she's done such an incredible job, and she really is one of the best teachers that we have. You know, she has such an incredible vision, and I just invite you guys to listen to her tonight, because she's really going to light this thing up. So thank you, Adrian, for bringing me on here.
Welcome.
Awesome story.
Oh, well, thank you so much for having me tonight. I appreciate your asking me to come on and just share my story and tell you all a little bit about what we're doing and where my journey has taken me. As Melissa said, I can't believe that you had Melissa come on. Oh my gosh, that was a total surprise. Love you, Melissa. So as she said, I was in a condo when we started, you know, growing, and when we first were introduced to the Tower Garden, and I really thought I would kill it, because I am one of those people that puts a plant in the Home Depot cart and I can hear it scream, "Help me, don't take me, put me back," because I'll kill it. Like I'm so bad. And so I was pretty sure I would kill the Tower Garden, but Melissa sold me on the Tower Garden. So I thought I'd give it a try. Gave it a try. We did great. My son was, I think it was like 3 at the time. He loved it. He was just having a great time. So I, like Melissa said, bought a couple more. They're like potato chips. You can't have like just one. So I just kept increasing the amount of towers that we had. And we ended up, like she said, moving and buying 5 acres. We have a small hobby farm here in Temecula, Southern California, out in wine country. And we have pigs and sheep and chickens and ducks and turkeys and all sorts of stuff, and goats and tower gardens. And so through my journey, we've sold at farmers markets. We've actually had our tower gardens at a local store area that had multiple stores, and we've grown for a restaurant and a juice bar on location. So That was really cool in the middle of our town. And then I became a seedling provider for the Juice Plus company. I just was providing lots of seedlings and support to everybody growing. So we would go to all the events and bring all my seedlings and answer lots of questions. And everybody was always so kind, and everybody loved to just stand there and talk about all the little baby seedlings and where they were growing, and all the stories everybody shares about what they bought last time they saw me and how it grew. And, some of them are naming their seedlings. It was so much fun. And so about, I would say, halfway through that journey, I became what is called an authorized commercial representative with Tower Farm Division, which is a division of Tower Garden. And we sell and support commercial farms. So I saw all the beautiful pictures that you guys had on the beginning of your Zoom today, showing all of showcasing some farms. And so those are different than the residential in that they're just taller. They take bigger pumps. They're all automated. They're all connected together. And so I had so many tower gardens of my own. I had become a farm. And so then I became what, like I said, like is an authorized commercial representative and a seedling provider along the way as well. And then the pandemic hit and everybody wanted a tower garden, right? Nobody wanted anybody else to touch their food. And we had so many people buying tower gardens. Oh my gosh, I couldn't keep up with the seedling production. It was crazy. And during the pandemic, I partnered with some amazing women that run LA Urban Farms, because my farm is Oak Creek Farm. And I have partnered with them. They called and asked if I would be their farmer. So I said yes. I said yes really quick. And so I started by just growing and selling seedlings to their customers. And then we started little by little going down to LA and taking care of some of the farms that they had sold to locations like restaurants and universities like UCLA, rooftops on corporations like the big one that you saw in the news there. And so we are their farmers. So what we have evolved into is a farm maintenance company. And so I take care of and maintain, I don't know, somewhere between 200 and 300. It's somewhere in between that. It's not quite 300. It's not 200, somewhere in between, goes up and down, and we're growing. So it's all about putting these tower gardens in unused spaces, because there's so many unused spaces. They're just rooftops, alleyways, front entryways, back alleys, and so the tower gardens you'll find in these amazing spaces in this urban setting and growing all this beautiful food. And so we're using, they're using these spaces, and then, the food is going right into the restaurant or right into, the brew and plate at UCLA. And they also were growing quite a few with the corporations to give back to the community. So that farm that you saw on the news actually is a farm that is grown with intention and love, and all of that food goes to the veterans. So once a week we do a harvest, and it all goes to Veterans Administration, which is right across the street. So it's been amazing to partner with them and be part of their mission to give back to the community. So the sky's the limit right now. That's what I've been doing, is just taking care of lots and lots of tower gardens. It's been amazing. The last 2 years have just, been mind-blowing, to be honest. LA Urban Farms has just been amazing to partner with. They're a group of awesome ladies that have become dear friends and partners, and it's just been great. So that's what I guess that's my story.